Hello. Hi. This is Anthony Johnson, and this is speech number 4. This is the speech for persuasion. In the following statements, I'm going to try to persuade those who have protested the kneeling of NFL football players and other sports figures around the world. This is a movement that has transgressed the NFL, where it now applies to high schoolers, soccer players in other countries, tennis players, golf professionals, volleyball players. Everyone has adopted the movement that in unison provides one cause, the fight for equality. And everyone understands that. Everyone understands what's important. Excuse me. Colin Kaepernick has been to the NFC Championship game twice with the 49ers, the Super Bowl once, and the playoffs 6 times. He's a certified Pro Bowler and star, and by all accounts, a top-tier QB in the NFL. When his stats is compared to others, he clearly ranks in the top 10 just by playing in the Super Bowl alone. So, why doesn't he have a job? There are 32 teams in the league. Each team carries a minimum of 2 backups. These backups you have never heard of, for the simple fact they aren't any good. So you mean to tell me a man who's been to the NFC Championship game twice, been to the playoffs 6 times, has a winning record, and even been to the Super Bowl, can't get a job? Shouldn't be starting, for an NFL team? I'll tell you the reason why. The reason why he took a stance. He took a stance on the most sacred of all stages, I guess, NFL football field, where most people have no voices. In the wake of the murders of Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Michael Brown Jr., Alton Sterling, Freddie Gray, and Philando Castile, by white police officers and citizens, of whom had arrest records and violent interactions with the public, including disciplinary actions and criminal records themselves, Colin got upset. On this day, Colin Kaepernick took the field for a pre-game NFL football game on August 26, 2018. During the play of the national anthem, while everyone else stood in observance, Colin sat down. And when asked why, after the game, he said basically, "I'm not going to stand and show pride in the flag for a country that oppresses black people and other people of color." And as you might have noted, this set up a whirlwind, controversial issue that reached every household and every ear, every sports fan, and every working class person who can actually feel this issue, and also those who protested the issue and saw it differently. Clearly, the act, which has now transgressed to kneeling to show solidarity, was in defiance of police brutality and inequality shown to blacks. The black community has been plagued by these actions by police officers since the inception of this country. And in this country, it has fallen on deaf ears, especially deaf ears of the evangelical community, for which, and the citizenry, for which there's only been passive response, no real protests. Whereas white communities who see equal or even more crime are not harassed as much by the police officers. There was a CDC report dated July 2012 that stated inmates on death row whose cases were overturned by DNA evidence were basically relieved and released. Out of the 296 cases, 206 were black. And that does not include the people waiting to be exonerated by DNA evidence and those who died during the process. Indicating a clear bias in the judicial system. Some kneel in protest, and they call it disrespectful to the flag. They say it disrespects the flag and it disrespects the troops. As a soldier, I can honestly say that is not the case. And after speaking to my fellow soldiers, they can honestly say it is not the case. In fact, when we go to war and when we fight for you, we fight for your right to protest. Let's be clear. There's a lot of racism disguised as patriotism in this country. And people don't like to address it. They don't like to address what the root cause of our issues are. They don't like to address the issue that is black people being oppressed and treated unjustly. But the way to fix it, ironically, is to talk about it. Don't keep it shuttered. Don't keep it held up. We need to bring it into the open. The protest is not about the flag. We love this country. The protest is not about the soldiers. I am a soldier. The protest is a fight to prove and to show that black lives do matter. And how this country treats its own citizens. Thank you.